Doc, I guess you can stand or sit, however you'd like to do it. Whatever. Yeah, take the stool there. That's probably the best way. Dr. Nathaniel Richmond is in studio here now, and I have to tell you, you are an expert when it comes to U.S.-Russian relations, yes. And I'll try to do a little focus on that here this morning in this presidential race. A lot of talk about Russia having an involvement. Nice and tight on the mic. What are your thoughts of all this? Trying to influence the results, or at the very least throw in a monkey wrench that makes it seem like it's not credible.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think the more and more evidence is coming out nowadays that Russia is trying to insert itself into our process in maybe a variety of different ways.
Is there any big surprise, though? I mean, let's talk about this. When the wall came down, all of a sudden the Soviet Union, and now everyone's saying the Cold War is over. We're now moving on to the most peaceful time in the history of the world. Well, we had no idea what was coming next. But for Russians, everything gets split up, and you've gone from being one of the top powers in the world to still a nation with nuclear weapons. Right. But you do not have the power, it seems, that you used to. So wouldn't it just be obvious that what Putin is going to do is to try to do whatever he can to get Russia back, and the people would embrace him because they went through a lot of struggles when communism fell?
Yes, absolutely. Russia is extremely important to be on the world stage, to be a country that matters in the world. That's how governments legitimize themselves or try to create legitimacy in the absence of free and fair and competitive elections. And with Russia on the world stage, the people are supportive of their government, and it's taking a variety of methods to get them back there.
And there seems to be, I guess there is. Is there a tie? Is there a real tie between Trump and Putin?
I don't know at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have conflicting information about that. Trump says no. There are other
members of the campaign.
There are other indications that maybe there are, but I don't think we know definitively yet. We might know soon, but I don't think we know right now.
Yeah.
He says no, but seems to speak very highly of him, right? And is on the defense when it comes to if the government or if someone says, Russia hacked the Hillary emails, et cetera. He's like, how do you know that? You don't know that. I just find that interesting.
And he's also saying, Russia, please find Hillary's emails.
Right. Well, that is true, too.
It's probably unprecedented. But in this numb political cycle, it seems like candidates can say or do anything, and their base stays with them pretty tightly.
Oh, absolutely. It's really amazing to see this unfold right now the way it is. That the bases are just, we don't want any more information. We don't care. Don't tell us. Nothing's going to change our mind.
Yeah, and we're seeing it now that despite polls that we've been looking at, it still looks like it's about the same as it was before this FBI announcement.
It seems to be tightening. The only question is, what's going to happen in the next 4 days?
Right. Anything could happen.
Yeah. So a lot that could happen.
Yeah. And it is interesting how when we say this numb electorate, we're just numb to it all. Years ago, pick something that a candidate might have done that cost them one little thing they might have done that could cost them.
Al Gore in a debate just sighing. Breathing heavily, or rolling his eyes, or one of the other candidates kind of looking at his George Bush Senior looking at his watch during the debate, and all of a sudden, so how could he do this?
Yeah. All these little like oh my God, Nixon sweats. Oh no, we can't vote for him. I mean, it's crazy what these guys can get away with today because we're just so very polarized. And why are we? I wonder, are we going through is it the social change we're going through? Gay marriage, black president. The list is long. All of these changes, these social changes going on in the last 8 years. Has that just erupted this divide?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's that. I don't think that's the explanation. We've always had these big differences. I mean, right back to the founding of the country.
Right.
You know, even there were great differences. Should we even separate from Great Britain? That was a very bitter idea that divided families and divided people. I would, but we were able to always have in this country, I think, a rather civil discourse about many things. I would date this problem back to about 1994. When Newt Gingrich became the leader of the Republicans in the House and launched his so-called culture wars and his contract with America and so forth, when he said to his Republicans in the House, we're not going to cooperate anymore. We're not going to work with Democrats in the House. We're not going to work with President Clinton.
Well, the Tip O'Neill, Ronald Reagan relationship.
Right, exactly. And that's the beginning, and it's just deepened. It's just because of gerrymandering, because of safe districts. We don't have competitive districts.
Gerrymandering has played a major role. I mean, a primary is basically pretty easy to win if you're an incumbent.
95% of the time for the House. And so there's so many safe districts that, as we say now, that instead of voters choosing their legislators, the legislators choose their voters.
Right. What do you think of that's very interesting when you think about it. How about, I mean, on top of it, you have a different media today that we're dealing with. You have Fox News that's to the right. You pick MSNBC or whichever one you want that's to the left.
Right.
You have talk radio, which is just basically a 3, 4, 5 hour campaign ad or a bash session. Do you think that's played a role in it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's played a big role in it because now a lot of people just simply it's like an echo chamber. They just listen to the ideas that they are already attuned to.
That was a recent, I don't know if it was a study or what it was, but I was reading something about just that, that don't worry if somebody's got an alternate message, because you probably aren't paying attention to it. You are flocking to the place that's giving you the news you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is incredible.